nonprofit board that produces field schools, 42 field schools in I think 24 countries. I've just done a number of things that have involved a high degree of executive function and financial literacy. And indeed, Culver City is a multi-million-dollar enterprise that is entering the big time. I mean, the issues that the city faces now are complex, the dollars are large, and it really is, there is a need on the council for someone with my strong financial and executive background.
Mr. Lee.
So I'll push back on the question a little. Culver City is a multi-billion-dollar business enterprise in one degree, but the real responsibility of Culver City and the City Council is to its residents and to its businesses, not exclusively to its businesses. And the responsibility to its residents does not always assume a financial return. It assumes that the return will be the quality of life that it is afforded to people here. So in terms of that, as a social worker, I have a large background both in micro and macro practice. When it comes to business, I ran my first business when I was 19 at USC. It was a place called Ground Zero Coffee House, a completely student-run business. I was the executive director my senior year, graduated a little early. Currently I work for the James Lawson Institute. It's a nonprofit that I started with James Lawson and Dr. Mary King last year. In our first year, our budget is about $500,000, and I'm in charge of finances. I also advise on finances on the boards that I am on for nonprofits.
Mr. James.
I'm a bankruptcy lawyer. I've been a bankruptcy lawyer for quite a few decades, actually almost 30 years now, representing medium, small businesses, individuals. I've seen budgets, I've gotten plans confirmed in Chapter 11s, Chapter 13s, etc. I am a retired Lieutenant Colonel, U.S. Army. I say this because I was a battalion commander. I was responsible for hundreds of millions of dollars worth of equipment, but more importantly, the lives of about 600 or 700 soldiers. So I take this job, if I get the pleasure, if you will, of representing you, to heart. It's not a stepping stone for me to be an assembly person or assembly general of the United Nations. It is to represent all of you, the residents of Culver City. My leadership background is impeccable. I've done it. I've done this. So hopefully when it's time to vote, you seriously consider me.
Thank you. Mr. Farrell.
As a businessman and a resident of Culver City, I think I'm I'm unique in terms of what I can offer on a business sense. I have olive ranches up in Northern California that on a yearly basis I have a budget of $3.2 million, as well as the store in Culver City. I employ 34 people on a full-time basis, and a seasonal basis I have anywhere from 300 to 400 employees. So I really know what it's like to sit down and work with employees and really figure out the differences, figure out what their problems are, and work for it so we all collectively get the job done. Both up north and both here at Serrano's. So I think I'm uniquely qualified in that sense where I know what it's like to sign the front of the check, not just the back of the check. I know what it's like to make budgets. I know what it's like to make cuts and where cuts need to be made, where both me as the employer and the employee are really put in the best limelight.
Thank you. So candidates, it's time now for your closing arguments.